So I'm here with my 17-week class, and we're going to cut off the worm bin. We have not shown this worm bin being cut yet. So this is the video where you will watch us cut off the bottom. So if you buy a commercial unit like this, they're $10, $12, $15,000 depending on how big you make them. But we made this one out of recycled scraps, so it didn't cost very much. And there's a video way back when you can watch me and Annie actually put it together. So we have this filled with compost, and we've been cutting it off, and we've been using the compost, and we make an extract out of it to get the microbes outside in our gardens and in here in the greenhouse. So let me explain how it works. We put things to compost on top. Now this right here is thermophilic compost, means a hot compost that we made outside. Once the thermophilic stage was over, meaning it got below 80 degrees and didn't heat up anymore, then we bring it in, we dump it on here, and the worms eat it up. Today we did some weeding in here, so we just put random weeds in here. We don't put a lot of weeds in here though. We usually compost them first, but sometimes we'll throw a few in here. Here's cabbage leaves that we put in. But anyway, we could just look in here real quick, and maybe we'll see a worm. So there's a lot of red worms in here, and there's a lot of European night crawlers both in this system. So if we just peel this back here, see that here's the worms. There they are. We can see them in here working this. And this is exactly what we want to do. And the way that we maintain this is we just, see how happy they are? We just mist this every day. When we come out and do a little watering each day, we just run the sprinkler across this a little bit. If you get it too wet, the worms die. If it's too dry, the worms die. You just want to keep it nice and moist. But there they are. See how many there are in here? There's probably 1 million worms in this bin. See the thickness of the population of these guys? So the reason we have the worms eat it is because it makes the compost more nutritious for the plants. It grows more microbes. We have more of the beneficial bacteria, protozoa, nematodes, fungus, and all the little happy guys. Now, once this is done after a year, the microarthropods will start coming into it. You usually find microarthropods in soil systems, not so much in compost. But they are in here. I've seen them with my microscope. So today we are going to harvest. But we only harvest 1 inch when we cut it this way, and then we'll cut it back that way. So we will take off 2 inches total. So 1 inch will fall out, and then another inch. So these pipes right here, this one, this one, this one, that's all that this is sitting on. So this is not sitting on a floor other than those. So the tension of being wet and just holding together keeps it on there. But when we cut it, the blade comes across, and the blade, these are just weeds here, I'll pull those out. But the blade sits on top of this 2x12 right here, and it goes all the way across this 4-foot bed. And so we're gonna pull that blade across, and it's gonna come along here, and it slides right on the top of this 2x12. There's 3 of these 2x12s. 1, 2, and 3. And if you have seen the video of how we built this, you know what I'm talking about. So you can go back and watch that. And so this, it slides along here, and then it cuts off the 1 inch from the top of here to the top of there. That's 1 inch. That'll fall. So we're gonna take 2 inches off, and then we have all this beautiful vermicompost underneath that we can harvest. So we're gonna cut this off. We're gonna make more compost to come in here and go on top, and we're gonna make more extract from what comes out the bottom and put it all around outside right now. So here we go. Here's how it works. Tim, Jess, come with me. Annie, come on. Muscle work. So just start going like this. If you need to let go, there's going to be a little bit of tension on it. Okay, so it might want to come back a little but don't just let go because it'll come and hit you. Okay, so start doing that and start trading off so nobody gets too tired. And then that steel rod's going to pull out and it's going to cut off. So one of you start doing it. The other one, if you guys want to watch it fall, you can come over here. I'm going to come over here by the camera. Okay, it's starting to go. So see this rod right here?
Oh, sorry. I can show him the rod.
So right here, it's beginning to fall. And if you look right here, I'll move this back. This is my blade right there. It's purple right there. It's coming along. And so right here, that's going to get loose and it's going to start falling. If we banged on that, it would fall a little bit better. So this just barely fell out. And so we want to smell this. It should smell really sweet like a forest floor.
Let me smell.
Or it should have no odor at all.
That's really wonderful. It's kind of bordering on the no smell at all.
So see here, see it coming out?
Oh yeah, I can see it further back in there.
And if we hit this now, just a little, it'll come down. And you don't have to hit it, I'm just doing that for the camera. Because it's going to fall in just a second.
Yeah, it's falling.
Now there's a lot of worms in there. And that's okay. I don't mind the worms in there. But the commercial guys with big systems, they don't like the worms in there. Because then you're not keeping your worms up here. But it's a little moist down on the bottom. If you keep it drier, then you don't have so many worms in the bottom. Because they'll migrate up to the more moist areas. Okay, see, there's the blade going right now. And it's falling out. Let's go watch these guys to see how we're actually doing this. Okay, Jesse, come here. I want you to come watch the... Are you okay?
Yeah, I didn't do anything.
You can go film right through there and get them turning it. Walk right up that way.
Here, Jessica, you're spry. See if you can take this down there and see some of that stuff falling.
Okay, I'll do my best. Let's see.
Point it straight up in the sky.
Okay, here we go. Oh, it's gonna get dirty, just so you know.
That's okay.
All right.
Oh, I can't even see what I'm doing. Okay, let's see if we can. Oh, can't even see what's happening. It's too dark. Oh, there we go.
See how a worm feels.
It's kind of dark.
Did that help?
Okay,
Is the light
that's
doing
sort of.
anything?
I think it's working now. Yeah. I can't see if. Yeah. Yeah, it's okay.
They're earning their lunch today, aren't they? Look at that hard work going on.
Oh no.
What? There's no tension on it. It's not really don't drop like that far.
Oh, it's true. It's not a. It's not a.
Okay, I don't know how.
You're
You want it
awesome.
back?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry about the up and down.
She's a
Probably-
professional. Well, you can definitely see everything that's on this side.
Okay, so
It's
you
extra
come see the
Yeah.
rod.
versus
See
what
how
it's already been pulled out.
Yeah.
Say it again.
So I hooked the blade to this steel rod. So there's the steel rod right here. So it just lives inside the worm band. But see, it's coming out right here through the steps. So it just lives in there. And it just comes out of this hole. And then we have this board on here, and the board is against the worm bin, right there. And then that's where we've hooked the winch so that it has tension. Because we can't just put a winch out there floating in the air. That's not going to do anything. You have to hook it to something.
Right?
So this is what it's hooked to. We'll take
Awesome.
it and show
Yeah.
how it's hooked on. So this is just a regular winch like on a trailer, like you'd load up a boat at the lake. And then I just welded a bracket on it that goes around it just goes around this big board here. And then we have guys like Tim who have muscles to turn this. So you could get an electric one if you didn't want to work so hard. You could buy it in a commercial unit. You could make it out of steel. Okay, trade off. Somebody else do this for a minute.
The top part here actually settled down a little bit where that's been cut off. Just a little bit of movement. It's not moving now, but where it was moving before the top.
I should film my wife. You guys never see her. She doesn't like it.
To be on the
And I'd rather
I'd
rather have a wife than I don't want to make her mad.
I prefer to do the filming than to be on film. I'll take the pictures. Occasionally you hear these thuds where stuff is coming down. It's kind of amazing how dense and beautiful it is. You're almost to the end now.
No, it's fine.
They've got what? Like 12 inches? Yeah. I would say you might actually be at the end.
Stop.
Stop. Yeah. There you
I
go.
want to rip the board out on that side.
You guys are
Can
awesome.
you see your blade? Did the blade go past?
Might have.
Here's the blade. Keep going. You got 2 feet.
Oh, good. I was going by where it was falling from. Oh, yeah, you can see
Yeah,
it
the
better.
blade's right here. There it is. So there's the blade. So the blade's just a 2-inch piece of flat steel, and I just sharpened it on both sides. Which you can see really easy in the video we made when we built this.
There we go.
Stop! Okay, unroll it a little bit. Undo the winch and we'll take it to the other side and we'll pull it back. So now, as we pull it back, this will settle straight down. That'll be a good thing.
And it'll be back in its neutral position.
Yeah, and then it'll just stay there.
That's awesome. Okay, we're going to go ahead and film this process too, because this might be interesting
So we're
for
going to
people.
need to pull that back out. It's easier to do right there than it is on this side. Okay. So hook it back onto your board. And start twisting it. And Tim, pull as hard as you can.
Ooh, it smells like
Enoch,
cilantro
give that
through here. I
handle a
think I
throw.
stepped on a plant. It's wonderful.
We do.
It's nice when the greenhouse smells slightly of cilantro.
Yeah.
And tomato. Tomato and cilantro. Those are like my favorite fragrances.
Give it a throw,
outside of
Enoch.
flowers.
Yeah.
Flowers are great. Always, you know.
Step.
I love the low-tech aspect of this. Because winches aren't that expensive, and people can find scrap metal around at different places and build their own. Good practices do not have to cost tens of thousands of dollars. Although, Tim, you're worth more than your weight in gold. So are you, Enoch.
That might be long enough. Let's go.
Good, 'cause I don't want to go any farther.
Oh, you got that all the way. Oh, I'm a genius. Okay, so you go inside the greenhouse, set it down, set that on the floor. Jess,
Shall we
you
see
come
your
over
setup
here
in
with
there?
me real quick.
Is it easy to film over there on that side, or?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead.
We're gonna move this board out of the way.
Okay, I'm a little bit nervous about heights. I'm not even as tall as some people. I'm not as high as some people are tall, but fear of heights is not rational. All right. Tell us how you think.
I think it's nap time.
Yeah, feels good after all that work. How about you? How do you think, Enoch? Yeah, good. All right, here comes Jess.
That's nice. There's a lot of good stuff here.
You can move it wherever you want.
Vermicompost is wonderful stuff.
Take that in there and grab that chain and see if you can get on to it. Okay.
Low tech. Low tech. Saves on expense. Most things. These were. William
Jesse's
was.
on her way.
A question for you, William. Was everything except the winch just a found item?
Yeah, I did buy the winch new. Everything else was recycled stuff.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
I built the screws were new, but I already had them.
Right.
I buy big buckets of them.
That's the best thing about this, to my mind. Other than just the fact that vermicompost is fabulous,
It will work. 'Cause I've done
the low tech aspect really is important because so many people feel kept out of farming and gardening because of
You're gonna go on that steel.
this idea that the outrageous costs.
Set it down on your steel.
You have to, everything has to cost a ton. Well, and you know, if you have the funding to buy something that's fancy,
Your board.
that's simple, it's great. But sometimes a little ingenuity and a little sweat goes a long ways. Has it got you sweating yet this morning? Yep.
It's also really hot though.
It is pretty humid in here this morning, actually. Which is kind of a miracle that it's humid in the
slack out of
middle of Nevada here.
Yeah.
So, explain this side. I'm gonna
Well,
zoom
this
in.
side doesn't have a steel rod. I just have a cable and a chain hooked on. So it's, you know, it's pretty redneck. Tim, look up. I didn't want to film him. I had to get his head out of the way so you can see the chain.
I wanted to
You
film
guys
it.
are all being photogenic.
I'm sorry.
You shouldn't
Shame
be
on you
sorry.
for being photogenic,
So
Tim.
what we want to do now
Everyone's been taking pictures of me.
is we
in
gotta
my mother's room.
That's right.
let's go this way.
So the other side, the blade's pulling the other way now, right?
Yeah, you guys keep going. Trade off so nobody gets tired.
Let's make that together.
Okay, I can see the
Hey,
movement.
So here's our blade right here. It's right here. So it's already 3 feet up and it's working.
And I can hear, it's a kind of a thud sound. You can hear the stuff falling down there. Almost sounds like horses running from a white.
Well, the reason is because it's hitting a plywood in the bag. I have a
Yeah.
plywood on that side that comes
that's why
halfway,
it's
and so it sounds like a drum.
Yeah.
And I can't see inside here, so I don't know if we're filming
Yeah.
anything good or not.
It's down low enough that none of us want to lay in the mud to film.
Everybody okay?
They're training.
We're just trading off.
So as they're doing that, this steel rod right here, it just goes back in, and then it lives there inside. And you already have seen that with the other video. Hi, Vernie.
Hi.
Smile.
You're gonna have lots of vermicompost here. This is actually quite a lot that's come down.
Okay, so there it is, and it's sinking down, making room. We have a thermophilic compost outside that's ready to come in now. So this is what our 17-week class looks like. It's super fun. We work for 2/3 of the day, and 1/3 of the day we're in the house looking at the computer. Doing classes. These guys have memorized all kinds of stuff. If you need to know the function of a nematode or a protozoa or all that stuff, these guys know the answers. These guys are the next generation of very, very successful producers. Has Jesse had a turn?
Nope.
Quit being sexist. Let the girl do the hard work.
Okay, how do I do this?
You crank it.
Anything? That's what I
Nope,
do.
you just crank it.
And if you need to let go slow because it will have about 2 inches of tension,
Okay.
and that handle wants to pop back, but
Okay.
it's not dangerous.
You're doing
Other
great.
than it could break your arm, Green.
You've got 18 inches to go.
Well, we have to stop.
Yeah, that's the end of our.
Okay, stop and
Is it okay?
you're gonna have to
there.
pull it out, remove the chain, and hook the cable onto the other cable now.
Go back.
So we have all these weird little things that we have to deal with because we didn't pay $10,000, and I'm totally happy with that. So I'm happy here. This has dropped down. So I'm cutting off an inch, but more than an inch is falling out.
Yes.
So, but it's good. It's great, you know. We have room. We have room now to put this other compost that's outside onto here.
Here's a question for you. I don't know if you want this in the video or not.
All right, what's your question?
So a lot of this vermicompost that has come out has quite a few worms in it. Would that serve as a good start to a compost?
Absolutely.
That's another little side business.
That serves as a great start. I can't film.
Well, we might as well kiss then. Who knows? You're probably filming the door over there.
Here. Let me get here.
Yeah.
So here
Yes,
we are. We've got it cut off. And see how great this is now.
That's beautiful.
And yeah, there's a lot of worms.
A lot
in
of
here.
worms in there.
No, if I was selling just the compost, I wouldn't want to sell my worms. There's the last
The
little
last
bit
little
falling.
bit. You're not kidding about millions of worms in here. I mean, this is incredible, the number of worms falling out of here. And when you were clearing that earlier, they're just, it's chock full of
Okay,
them.
so here's my blade, and I don't want him to rip that out, so I'm going to say, stop! Okay, that's the end.
Good work, you
So
guys.
that's how we cut it off. So these guys have been here for 10 weeks, and maybe plus, and we haven't cut this off yet.
You're
So
awesome.
today was the first day for them cutting it off, which is pretty great.
You guys are heroes. Thank you. All right.
Okay, so that's how we cut it off, and that's super easy and simple. Now we simply take a shovel, we fill up 5-gallon buckets with this stuff, and we take it out, we make the extract, and we put that out on the gardens in the land. And those are whole separate videos, and I've already made some videos of that, but we will be making more. If you have any questions, you can ask about those, but thank you for being a Patreon member, and hopefully this helps you have a bunch of worms in a pile.